I can't say my family, right? But family. I'd probably say my phone in the basketball.
Playing in basketball?
Yeah.
I got you. And give me the first hoop shoe that you bought when you ran into some money that you bought that you wanted as a kid. You
Adidas.
didn't get it, and you as soon as you ran into some money, you say that's the first thing I'm getting.
Anything that was sorry, let me talk to the mic. My bad. Yeah, I'd probably say anything that's Adidas. Yeah, anything Adidas for sure.
Donovan, why Cleveland? Why'd you?
I mean, why not, right? I mean, like for me, um, when I got traded here, I mean, it's no secret. I've said it. I thought I was going to New York, and I didn't know much about Cleveland. And from the minute I got here, I told my mom, and I think it was just like, yo, like, I really like it here. Just the people. It's very convenient to travel, back and forth from where I live and getting around. And traffic's not that bad unless it's 5, obviously. But just the passion from the fans, being able to, the food is good. Like there's just, I'm a very simple person. I don't, need nothing too crazy. In Cleveland, there's just been amazing to me. And then this is obviously excluding everything that happens on the basketball floor. I just mean as a place to live. For me, I love it here. And I said it on the first press conference. It gets cold, but I'm used to the cold. I dress better in the cold, and so for me, it was just like a no-brainer. And then obviously everything started, progressing well on the floor. And yeah, I mean, I've known for a little bit that this was my decision, but it's finally good to have a media day where we're not talking about where I'm to next. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty special.
Can you define a little bit how long you've known for?
I knew for sure, I would say probably around January, around the Paris game. I knew for sure. I had thought about it at the beginning of the year. It's been in my mind. I mean, I knew, but you kind of obviously have to do, your checks and all that. But I knew for sure probably January, February that this is where I wanted to be. So it's kind of funny watching everybody say that this is how I'm feeling, but I knew. Man, like I said, this is it's my first media day in probably 3 years where I don't have people asking me like, what does it take for me to stay somewhere? I think that's people don't understate how it becomes a lot. And biggest thing for me too is not even just myself, but my teammates don't have to answer these questions because that's a real thing too. People think about what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But like that's a real thing. It's a I don't want to call it a looming cloud, I guess you want to say. Every loss is like what's going to happen next, you know what I'm saying? So it's refreshing, but it's also glad that, we're here, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be part of this group. And now the biggest thing is now that I've signed the contract and we're here, and now there's an expectation. It's not like we just signed and that's the end goal, we're happy, whatever. There's an expectation for us to do big things, and that's kind of where my mind is at.
Donovan, unfortunately, you didn't finish the year on the floor last year. How bad was the knee? How physically banged up were you at that point?
Yeah, it was. There's nothing structurally wrong at all. Just a lot of wear and tear. Past 2 years, I've played probably the most minutes of my career from day one. So now being able to kind of take a different approach. Started the summer really late, just because I wanted to give myself as much time as possible. So I really didn't start going full bore until August, which typically would start for me early July. So just kind of doing that and kind of taking a different approach to the summer just to make sure I'm all good and mentally confident. I feel great. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm in shape. But, it allowed me to kind of take a step back and start to, readjust how you do your summers. I'm not 22 anymore, but I'm not 33. You know what I mean? But there's a different way to approach the summer as you get older so you can continue your longevity and, yeah, I mean, obviously I would love to finish the season out there with my guys, but, it provided me with an opportunity to understand how, you go about your summers, what you taking care of your body, have a full-time chef that goes basically wherever I go, like nutritionist, staff, everything. It's just been it's been a good summer as far as kind of the surrounding parts of what I have around me, and then getting ready for the year. I think a major one. I think that for what he did in Brooklyn, what he was around in Golden State. He's around winning. You know, he was there on the team, on the staff that when we blew the 2-0 lead against the Clippers when we lost there. So I'm very familiar with Kenny and, you know, what he brings to the table, player development, and ways to make a group better. You know, so I think for us, kind of, you know, watching him lead, and even through the month that I've been here so far, you just see the energy, the passion behind it, but also the experience, you know, the strategy. And like I said, we've been in communication for a while, and, you know, when he was in Paris, it's like 4 a.m. and he's texting me like how to slip, what ways to slip out of screens and, you know, back screens and different actions and different things. So you can't complain when you have a coach that's doing that for sure. My love of gummy bears. I've loved gummy bears since I was a kid. So for me, when I have a collab with them that just kind of got teased out on IG today. I'm wearing the shoes today, but that's been my love for my entire life. So if there's one candy I have, and anybody knows me, it's a pack of gummy bears, just like those, the OG regular brand. Those are the best ones out there. So they're coming out soon. I can't say too much, but I appreciate that question because those are near and dear to my heart for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you know what's around, you know, and I think we all see that we have a lot we can accomplish as a group, you know, and I said it the other day, like I believe when we're healthy, we're a championship contending team, but unfortunate part is for the past 2 years, we haven't been a fully healthy team, you know, throughout the year, you know, been different spurts. So now the biggest thing is for us to put those pieces together on the health side, but then also put those pieces together on the floor, you know, and obviously we have a new coach in Kenny here and different ways to go about the game. So for us to, as we internally grow, but also growing with him and growing with each other, you know, you don't just throw a team together to make it to the championship. That's pretty tough to do. So for us, it's continue to take steps and building blocks, and finding ways to, you know, compete at the highest level and win at the highest level.
Donovan, when Kenny and Kobe talked Friday,
Yep.
they were talking about how Kenny went out to Connecticut to meet with you, and then came back to, you know, kind of, they said led the charge for players back in Independence. And
Yep.
what have those interactions been like? How have you connected with Kenny so far?
Yeah, I made the joke with him. I was like, man, this is the earliest I've ever been in market in my career. Yeah, it's been good. You know, I'm excited. You know, I think that just speaks to my level of excitement. And, you know, not even just myself. Everybody was here, you know, for the most part. And I think that's what's special, you know, wanting to continue to get better. And, you know, for him to take the time out, you know, obviously being in Paris for the Olympic Games with the fly back and forth, it's no easy flight, to make sure he saw myself, Evan, Darius, you know what I mean, and all the different guys through Summer League and whatnot. I think that's what stood out to me, you know, and also, like I said, texting us at 4 a.m., going over, you know, different strategies. And, you know, that's what it's about, finding ways to execute. And, you know, you do that stuff now. You don't do that. You don't wait until, you know, the season gets going. So for him to, you know, do that, I think is shows how much he cares, the passion behind it. But now we got to go out there and execute it on the floor.
A lot of people talk about what can Kenny implement, all the adjustments he can make. But what role do you guys play in your success? Like, how can you guys help him?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the month that we've been here. You know, you start to form that relationship. You know, I can, you know, for you and I to start our relationship, you know, on the basketball court, it doesn't just like, we don't just walk in October 1 and be like, all right, how do we do this? You know, it's chemistry, it's over time. So I think that's first and foremost, but then also going out there and executing. Trust, there's a trust factor, but that starts with getting in the gym early, and all those different things. So, you know, I think we can't ask him to trust us and vice versa if we don't show it. And I think with both sides, as players and as coaches, we've seen it on both sides. And I think that's where it starts. And then you have a week like we have coming up in camp, and building the preseason and building. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's just building the chemistry, building the trust early.
What changes for you, if anything, now that you have this longer-term contract?
I mean, I think Danny said it. It's like, you just know where you're going to be. You know where your feet are. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I knew since January, but even still, like I said, it's just a calming, you know, vibe. You come in here, and I can come in here now and breathe. Like, you know what I mean? It's way more peaceful. I mean, obviously on the floor, I know what the group is. I know what we have. I know what it's going to look like. You know, I know what I'm walking into. I think that's something that it's truly understated. You know, when you're going through, obviously, you know, the rumors, I guess you want to say. So for me, now that I've signed, I know where home is. I'm happy here. There's a level of happiness. I'm in the community. I'm, you know, doing all these different things. I'm watching. I'll be at the Guardians games next week, like, and then like just different things, like as an aspect outside of just basketball. You know, like you can kind of lay your roots somewhere that you actually want to be, and I think that's special.
Donovan, this offseason, how was your workout routine? Was there more focus on weight training or basketball? Take us through that.
Yeah, with the late start, it was more weights, more stability, different things like that, just because I wanted to not do as much pounding on my body early on. So definitely more weights, but then these past 2 months have been nonstop ramp up with basketball. But for the most part, for the start, it was all weights and like I said, stability and different things like that. And then once we got to the later months, back to it.
Got time for 2 more questions, guys. 2 more questions.
About your relationship with Johnny Bryant.
Yep.
What does it mean to you to have him join this organization?
What's up, bro?
Continue that relationship?
Excited to be back.
What is this? Is Snapchat?
Yeah.
You still have a Snapchat?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, tell him about
The year 8. We back at it, man.
Back at it.
Back here with TT on Snapchat.
The old fart, the young pup.
The old fart that still has a Snapchat is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this is just for, you know, like.
Yeah, no. Do your thing. Yeah, work phone. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But good to see y'all. Year 8, we back at it.
We got you guys on both sides.
They
It's
said
hard.
no jewelry. Hey, BJ, he got jewelry on.
Man, 14 years.
All right, baby. Man, that is a child. That is a child, and I'm a child too. So I think it's pretty dope. But he's a leader, man. He's, you know, he brings the energy, as you can see, brings the vibe, lightens the mood for everybody in the locker room. So that's gonna be exciting. Glad to have him back. I know the city is excited to have him back too. Sorry, your question. My bad. Yeah, I mean, I've said it in interviews. You know, I equate, you know, a lot of my success to the work him and I have done in Utah. You know, like my routine, you know, my thoughts for the game. A lot of it was Quinn Snyder as well. But Quinn and Johnny were very close, obviously, and whatever, you know, Johnny was teaching me at the time was obviously going through Quinn. But, you know, he's done it at a high level. But also more so, he's like a brother to me, you know, someone that, you know, has been there for me in a lot of different ways. Not even just on the floor, so it's great to have him here. But not even just for myself. I think he'll be great for the team as far as, you know, what he's done in his career. He'll be a head coach at some point soon. But for me to be able to see him, you know, he's seen me grow, but to see him grow as a coach at the highest level is special, and he'll be a great addition for it's not just myself. I mean, everybody knows him as our relationship, but he's been great with the guys, and I think it'll be great, you know, for the team as well.
Last question.
Darius's reputation took a hit last year due to a lot of factors outside of his control.
Yeah.
How much of a boost can you give you guys just to get him back at his physical best?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. I think it's you go through these points in your career. I've been through this a few times. You know, I think for him, my biggest thing is always how do you respond? You know what I mean? There's always going to be something. There's always going to be. He's been Mr. Cleveland. He's been Mr. Cavaliers since he's been here. So for us and for him, it's like just continue to keep working. You know, we trust in you. We all believe in him and what he's capable of. So we're here to have his back. We support him, and you know, for him to go out there and do his thing, and he's ready. I know he's excited. But obviously, public criticism is part of what we do. It's going to be a thing, and I think he's ready to kind of shut everybody up.
Thanks, everybody.